So having that experience where a young guy who maybe was feeling lost himself, maybe didn't have direction in life, and maybe thought that the jewels that life was promising were not his to have. And to see suddenly that he has that look where he knows that he can have it. He can go out there and be much bigger and much more than he thought he was, is a profound gift to receive as a teacher. And knowing that from that, he's going to go out there and live a kick-ass life is a fantastic thing, because that's not just going to affect him. That's going to affect the people around him, ultimately the woman he chooses to breed with, and therefore the spawn that he sends out to the world. So seeing that coming from a shaky place at that time, and knowing that even me at my weakest was still causing ripples in a good way, really gave me a lot of inspiration to go out there, pick myself up, and for myself to again become more than I thought I could be. The other awesome thing was the connections that I made with some of the speakers. That year was quite profound in the sense that I connected with Anthony Johnson on a deeper level, and I connected with Steve Maeda and Sasha Daygame, and I then invited those guys to come and join me on the Euro Tour, and out of that has come the most profound and successful collaborations of my career to date, because finally what I think we're seeing is the cream of the seduction industry starting to find each other. And to be honest, there are a lot of guys in this industry who should not be teaching. Not so much because they're ripping guys off, which they are, but mainly because if they're spreading information that is not correct, or that is leading guys to put more masks on to be less of themselves, then they're causing long-term serious damage to the guys and therefore the girls they're going to meet. And I look forward to a time when the inner circle of guys who know what they're doing get together and create industry standards, which is not far away. Because you're seeing a lot of complaint, which is completely justified, from a lot of guys who've been burnt along the way by fly-by-night con men. And we're coming to get you. Where do I see the 21 convention in 5 years' time? Well, that depends on a number of things. Firstly, whether the world ends at the end of this year, which I really hope it doesn't, because I'm starting to have a really great time and I'd like to have at least 5 more years to complete my plans. This is also going to depend largely on Anthony Johnson in terms of his commitment, in terms of his ability to grow and evolve as a man. Because he's a guy who has got a lot of passion, a lot of willpower, who's very disciplined and well beyond his years in terms of what he's achieving. But at the same time, I think for this convention to continue to evolve and grow, that's going to be led primarily by his growth and evolution. And so I look forward to him taking the feedback, the responses from the audiences, both online and live, and in terms of him internalizing the learnings that he's gathering through all the speakers that he pulls together. Because as he grows, as his understanding of the world, of life, of women, of exercise, of philosophy and all that stuff grows, so too will the convention grow. It will be limited by how much he's willing to grow. And I see in him pretty much unlimited potential for growth. So as long as he's evolving and I'm evolving and everyone else in the crew is evolving, I see it jumping from strength to strength over the years to come. I also see that seduction, the concept that men need to learn how to better themselves with women in life, in exercise, in the way that their mindsets grow, is becoming a more mainstream accepted kind of idea. And as that becomes more accepted, so too will the ability for mainstream media and guys who are feeling a bit kind of shameful about it now to get involved. So I think as we spearhead this men's movement, we'll see a lot of more guys will feel that it's not something to be ashamed of to come to a conference like this. It's something to be fucking proud of, because most men are not satisfied with their lives, and most of them make excuses and sit behind those excuses for decades. The guys who stand up and go, I'm not perfect and I'm not satisfied with life and I want more, and therefore I'm going to come to something like this and with humility and audacity go out there and get what I want, are fucking heroes. So for anyone who's sitting at home considering, yeah, I would like to go to one of these events, or I'd like to do coaching, or I want to engage with this information, but I feel like that makes me a loser, please understand, it doesn't. It makes you a warrior on a path to personal growth, to to actualization, to becoming what you could actually be. Let people criticize, let people naysay, let people whinge and whine. That's their prerogative, that's their life, but don't let them drag you down. So come to places like this because these are think tanks of progressive and positive thinkers. These are men who are skilled in their areas and are here not to make money off you. They're here to pass on information. They're here to pass on their wisdom because that gives them validation. Of course they get paid for it, but the reason that all of us as coaches are here is not for the money. It's not easy to be a dating coach or a health expert or somebody who thinks outside the box and make $1 million. It's quite difficult. But because we believe in what we do, because Anthony believes in what he does, we are here to deliver this and we'll continue to do it as long as men are willing to stand up and go, yes, I want to change. So the path that I took to get here today is certainly not a linear one, certainly not a straight line, and I certainly didn't plan it this way. What I did plan was to live life to its extreme on multiple levels. I have been an extreme ascetic in the terms that I was essentially a monk living in a mountain. And at the same time, well, not at the same time, following that, I became an extreme hedonist, living purely for pleasure, I guess. But the consistency there is that I do not want a pedestrian lifestyle. I do not want to, it's not so much that I don't want to live in the box, I don't think I'm allowed in the box. I really don't think I should be there. It's not the place for me. I see my role to exist throughout all sorts of systems, to be like lukewarm water, as they would say in Spinal Tap, to move through life and to gain pure experience, to try and master things that I apply my mind and my will to, and to create influence, not through forcing anybody, but making people think, by exploding their realities, by questioning their presuppositions about what is and what is not possible or what you should and shouldn't do. Because I've done everything you shouldn't do, really, and I'm very successful in the sense that I love life, I have a great time, I get to travel, I get to do exactly what I want to do. And that's not because I was born in privilege. I was born in a very poor, single-parent household and had a pretty rough childhood. I didn't have the backup to be where I am today, but I refused to have life crush me. And that's the message that I want to pass on to young men, is that no matter what background you come from, no matter what racial group or religious background or anything like that, it's not about just positive thinking. You can't just think your way like, yeah, everything's going to be great. You must face adversity. You must also face the fact that life has a lot of awful things that you're going to have to confront at some point. But if you do it in a way that is joyful and that is looking at the same time towards a great future and at the same time experiencing whatever you truly are involved in the moment, then you don't waste any time. Then your life is a beautiful story rather than something that passed you by. So where this is going to lead me, I have no fucking idea, but I'm really excited about finding out. Judging from where I came from 6 years ago to where I am today, God knows, I could be running a small South American country, or I could be back in Shaolin Temple. Let's wait and find out. It's going to be fun. If you would like to find me, good luck, because currently I live nowhere and everywhere. If you would like to start to find me, the easiest way is to go to my website, which is thenaturallifestyles.com. If you're interested in joining me for one of my madcap adventures through Eastern Europe, you can go to theeurotour.com. There's a few places left on the last tour for this year. Who knows what's going to happen next year. If the world ends, you're going to really regret not coming this year. So come and check it out. My blog is thejamesmarshall.com. I'm pretty easy to find online. And if you're really, really committed, come find me in Eastern Europe. You won't regret it.